Audio.
Hallo Pierre, wir wünschen euch eine schöne Session, gell? Alles Gute. Ja, wenn das geht. Passt.
Hallo, guten Morgen, danke.
Good morning all. Hello.
Okay. Genau, dann können wir da hier abziehen. Ja, Audio, alles abziehen.
Ja, ich bin der Tech-Support heute. Ich werde dir die Videos anschalten.
Jo, hallo, guten Morgen, danke.
Und genau, wir haben, glaube ich, 11 Präsentationen. Und davon habe ich von 10 das Video bzw. die PowerPoint. Und eine, das ist die von, Sekunde, Herrn oder Frau Dibaba, müsste dann über Zoom kommen.
Okay, super, ja. Okay, das heißt, wir haben 11 Präsentationen, mal 3 Minuten sind dann circa 33 Minuten, das heißt 12 Minuten für Fragen.
Gut, ja.
Also circa 1 Minute für jede Präsentation Fragen.
Ja, und wir sind heute auch ziemlich eng im Schedule, also wir sollten versuchen, on time fertig zu werden.
Ja.
Wie viele Minuten bitte? 3 Minuten für eine Präsentation?
Yes, I think, I mean, the presentations are pre-recorded anyway, no? Which should be around 3 minutes, and then we could,
Okay.
I would say maybe we can have one question per presentation, and then we would go to the next presentation.
Okay.
And I guess you will just follow the online structure as it is online now. You will go from 1 to 11.
Yes, exactly. And you just tell me when you want the next one, and I'll start it from here.
Okay. Can you tell me your name again, please?
So, Thuy, you can say Thuy, it's okay.
Sorry, your name I can see, but the moderator, I can't see his name.
Sorry.
Arne wieder.
Arne. Oh, okay, Arne. Okay.
Okay, alles geklärt?
Ja, alles geklärt.
Was?
Also derzeit, at the moment we have 7, 8 people here in the forum, so we're still missing 3, I guess. Now we are 8. Now we are 9. So yeah, maybe to be able to start on time, I will just say good morning to everyone, wherever you are. Thanks for joining today. My name is Pierre Elzel. I'm working at BOKU at the Department of Crop Sciences, and I will be your host for today for the next 45 minutes, together with our moderator, Arne, who will support us. He will be playing the videos. And for those who just came in, we have about 33 minutes for the presentations. This leaves us about 12 minutes for questions. So I would say for each presentation, we may have one question before we go to the next presentation, so that we can finish on time. So now it's 11:30, and I think Arne, if you want, we could just start now with the first presentation.
Greetings to everyone. Welcome to my poster titled Sustainable Intensification of Smallholder Crop Livestock Farming Systems in Northern Ghana, Optimizing Groundnut Plant Density for Grain and Fodder. I am Nuruddin Abdurrahman, presenting on behalf of the team. This study is part of research work of Mixed Farming System Initiative of the 1CG. The goal of this study was to sustainably intensify smallholder groundnut small ruminant farming system by identifying optimum plant density for grain and fodder production. Methods. This study was conducted in two parts. We have study 1, which is agronomic trial with 4 groundnut plant densities as treatment, laid in RCBD with 8 replications per treatment. Then the study 2, which is livestock feeding trial, which used the same 4 plant densities that were used as treatment in the agronomic trial as treatment, laid in RCBD with 3 replications per treatment. The feed component of this study was 60% groundnut fodder and 40% corn bran. We used sheep in this study, and each sheep was offered a feed of 500 grams on daily basis in the morning, and these animals were allowed to go out in the afternoon for free grazing. To assess the sustainability of this treatment, we use the Sustainable Intensification Assessment Framework, and the application of this framework involves 3 main steps. Step 1, which is selecting and measuring indicators that are useful to answer research questions of the study. And step 2 has to do with transforming these measured indicators into scores using a scale of 0 to 1, where 0 is the least and 1 is the highest. And then step 3 has to do with calculating sustainability index using geometric rules for calculating the area of a pentagon. We are using a pentagon here because the CF has 5 main domains, which are productivity, economic, environment, human, and social domains. Results. Table 1 shows the effect of plant density on CF domains measured in this study. And as you can see from this table, planting groundnut at 22 plants per meter square increased grain yield, fodder yield, live body weight, and reduced weed biomass as compared to the other plant densities. The trend was the same for the other indicators measured in this study, as you can see in the table. The data from table 1 was used to generate information for figure 2 and 3. And figure 2 shows the effect of plant density on CF domains. And as you can see from this figure, you will see that planting groundnut at 22 plants per meter square recorded higher productivity, economic, environment, and human domains compared to the other treatment. And when we come to figure 3, which is about sustainability index of these plant densities, you will see that planting groundnut at 22 plants per meter square recorded higher sustainability index compared to the other treatment, indicating better sustainability compared to the other treatment. Conclusion: planting groundnut at 22 plants per meter square recorded higher scores across the CF domains, and then sustainability index relative to the other plant densities. We recommend that planting groundnut at a density of 22 plants per meter square will enhance the sustainability of smallholder crop livestock farming system in northern Ghana and similar agroecologies through its effect on productivity, income, food security, nutrition, and gender equity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for this presentation, Abdullah Rahman. Are there any questions to Abdullah? I don't know if he is here. I don't see him on the current list. No, I think he is not here. So in this case, I would say we just gonna move to the next presentation, please.
Perception of change in agroecological practices of dairy farms by smallholders in Mexico. Introduction. The tape is a novel tool developed by FAO to collect data on how 10 elements of agroecology can contribute of sustainable food and agricultural systems. Its third step involves a participatory analysis of survey results with participant farmers. Objective: to assess the perception of participant farmers regarding the likelihood of change in agroecological practices and to determine key actors responsible for these changes. A 2-hour workshop was conducted in Aculco, Mexico, using a line scale from farmers rate their likelihood of changing practices related to the elements of agroecology. To identify key actors responsible for these changes, participant farmers were tasked with allocating 10 points among 5 options: individual, community, or government at the municipal, regional, or central level. The median and interquartile range are used as a measure of central tendency. In letter A, map of Mexico; letter B, map of state of Mexico; and letter C, Aculco. Results. Medians were analyzed with a Mann-Whitney U test. No significant difference were detected for the probability of change. In addition, survey participants rate themselves as the main agent of change compared to other key actors. Conclusions. Farmers demonstrate a willingness to independently implement agroecological practices on their farms, but in some cases highlight the need for community. In evaluating the workshop, farmers showed a high degree of interest in learning more about agroecological practices. This study provides a case study on giving smallholder farming communities a voice to chart their own future.
Okay, gracias, Dalia Andrea Plata Reyes. I don't know if she is here. I don't see her in the chat list. So I would say in this case, we would just move to the next presentation, please.
Present research. Hi everyone, my name is Tuan, and on behalf of the research team, I would like to briefly present research titled Barriers to Agroecological Transition of Coffee-Based Farming Systems in the Central Highlands of Vietnam. And there was some motivation for our study. First, the recent expansion of commodity production in the Central Highland of Vietnam, together with unsustainable production practices, has raised concern among the local governments in terms of deforestation, other environmental issues, and livelihoods of the local people. And second, the EU's regulation on deforestation-free products require urgent intervention to reverse unsustainable practice in major community production regions like the Central Highland of Vietnam. Our study aims to investigate barriers and opportunities toward AE transition in the Central Highland of Vietnam. And for methodology, we adapted a rural household multi-stakeholder survey called RUMIS for interviewing 724 coffee farmers in 4 districts of Lâm Đồng and Đắk Nông provinces of Vietnam. And the results were then validated and enriched through stakeholder interviews, workshops, and focus group discussions. Here are our main findings. As you can see in figure number 1, there's a high proportion of farm households still adopting unsustainable production practices, with more than 40% practicing monoculture, did not pay attention to active ingredient in agrochemical. And half of the interviewed households apply calendar spraying a pesticide. It means that they apply pesticide even without pest or disease occurring on the field. And figure 2 shows very small proportion of farmers following sustainable production guidelines. And this would imply the main barriers due to limited production knowledge and conventional practices. Figure 3 reveals the main barriers and opportunity for promoting a transition and some recommended intervention. So in terms of barriers to a transition, there's both intrinsic and extrinsic factors. This include limited knowledge and adoption of sustainable practices as discussed earlier, and very unorganized production among individual farmers leading to limited access to cooperative structure and supply chain linkages and their related benefits such as cost saving and price premium. Third is the ineffective or sort of unfocused policies and underfunded extension system. We found that the funding for the extension will only meet 5 to 35% of the local needs, depending on the survey districts, and high financial investment for intercropping and agroforestry system is another challenge, especially for the smallholder or resort poor farmers in the Central Highland. And finally, the market requirement, particularly for durian, in terms of pest control. We also promote crop monoculture of this crop. And in terms of opportunities, there's increasing market demands of product with sustainability standards. So that's promote, eco-friendly production. And climate change impacts that also, promotes climate resilient practices such as water saving techniques, intercropping with cover crop or shade crop, and soil cover techniques, etc. Third is the government's commitment in terms of low carbon agriculture and green growth strategy, etc. And finally, some ongoing initiative and support from international organizations and NGOs. For example, the current coffee agroforestry projects of RNB and the integrated sustainable landscape management project of UNEP, and the public-private initiative on key crop development of ideas, etc. So based on this analysis, we together with the local stakeholder came up with several recommendations, including establishing sustainable value chain with appropriate incentive for AE adoption, awareness raising, and capacity building for farmer and extension networks, and establishing demo plots of locally appropriate AE adoption model for shared learning and replication, and finally engagement of both public and private sectors for joint efforts and investment. So that's all about our presentation, and thank you very much for your attention.
Yes, thanks very much, Puanha, for this presentation. Um, Unfortunately, I would say we have to keep our questions for now because we are at 16 minutes already for 3 presentations. So I would think we just go through all the presentations now and we keep our questions. And if we have time at the end, we can address those questions to the respective authors. But Tuana, thanks for your presentation. Thank you. So let's go straight to the next one, please. I think we are going back to South America.
Hello, my name is Isabel Morales. I'm presenting. Hello, my name is Isabel Morales. I'm presenting the nutrient release from litter under 5 cacao cultivation systems in a long-term field experiment. This was done in Bolivia. Cacao can be cultivated under full sun conditions, but cultivating it within agroforestry systems can benefit from ecosystem services, including nutrient cycling, which may reduce the need for external fertilizers. This is why we aim to determine the effect of 5 different cacao cultivation systems on the decomposition of litter from pruning residues on nutrient release and carbon accumulation. For our methods, we place litter bags containing cacao leaves or mixtures of cacao and shade tree leaves across the different cultivation systems. We use 2 mesh sizes for the bags, and after 4, 8, and 12 months of decomposition, we collected the litter bags for chemical analysis. What we can observe in our results, on the left side, we have what happens with litter bags that only contain cacao leaves, while on the right, we have the cases of litter bags that contain cacao mixtures of cacao leaves with shade tree leaves. So we can see here how organic carbon has evolved with time, and also the effect of the different cultivation systems in each month. The same for the case of phosphorus. And we can also see the effect of the mesh size with clearer boxes representing a larger mesh size in litter. We also have results for percentage of nitrogen, where we can see an effect of the cultivation system, percentage of potassium, percentage of cellulose, where we had no effect of time or of cultivation system on the cellulose content. And in the case of lignin, we have seen a little increase in percentage in month 12, probably because of the production of microbial products. Finally, we have calculated how many grams of carbon and of nutrients per kilogram of cacao litters could be obtained after 4 months and also after 12 months. For our conclusions, we can see that after 4 months of decomposition, we lost about 40% of carbon, 30% of nitrogen, 65% of phosphorus, and 70% of potassium. By 12 months, we lost 82% of carbon, 60% of nitrogen, 95% of phosphorus, and 98% of potassium. The mesh size had an effect mostly at 4 months. We had no significant effect of cultivation system on the composition, except for nitrogen, lignin, and phosphorus in some months. The mixture of leaves and the cacao leaves had approximately the same decomposition. No significant difference could be observed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Isabel Morales. I see she's also here. Please stay in the chat for possible questions at the end. And next presentation, we are going back to Africa, and next presentation will be by Grace Mensah.
Dear all, my name is Grace T. Mensah. On behalf of my co-authors, I cordially invite you to our presentation on assessing farmers' attitudes toward organic fertilizers in Kiambu and Kirinyaga counties of Kenya. Agricultural soils in Kenya are becoming unproductive due to poor soil fertility as a result of overutilization of chemical fertilizers by commercial farmers. Organic fertilizers can enhance soil health and mitigate the effects of chemical fertilizers. However, the use of organic fertilizers among smallholder farmers in Kenya is limited due to lack of standards. To promote organic fertilizers utilization among smallholder farmers, some well-known and emerging organizations are producing and selling certified organic fertilizers such as Bukashi and Savi, yet the attitude of the consumers who are the farmers are unknown. Therefore, the study aimed to evaluate the attitudes of smallholder farmers on the use of locally produced organic fertilizers in 2 sub-counties of Kenya. Insights from farmers' attitudes can be used for informed decision-making, that is, policymakers to develop improved subsidies, incentives, and educational initiatives that encourage organic fertilizer use. The study used structured questionnaire containing 14 attitudinal statements that capture the attitude of farmers on a 5-point Likert scale. Figure 1 showed fertilizer practices of farmers in the study area, and the study found that 68.8% of farmers used combined application of organic and inorganic fertilizers, while 31.2% used organic fertilizers only. Figure 2 showed various sources of information on organic fertilizers by farmers, and the study found that 73.4% of farmers received information from NGOs and 69.7% received from their fellow farmers. Table 1 showed descriptive statistics of attitudinal statements with highest agreements. Farmers agreed that they receive personal satisfaction from using organic fertilizers on their farm, they get better yield when they use organic fertilizers, and that organic fertilizers improves soil fertility. Values highlighted in purple indicate the percentage of farmers that agreed or strongly agreed to each of the statements. The study concludes that NGOs and farmers to farmers are the main sources of information on organic fertilizers. Farmers in the study area showed positive attitudes towards organic fertilizer utilization. Therefore, the study recommends the need for support from government to increase organic fertilizers use among smallholder farmers in Kenya. Thanks for listening and welcome any question after the section.
Thank you very much, Grace Mensah.
Welcome to my poster. I will show you some preliminary results of our work. Our goal for this study is to use the crop modeling system to investigate the effects of the crop practices on crop yield and soil nutrition. So my cropping system is very important in northern Ghana, and of course that residue and soil chemical and fertilizers is very common practices in this country and also in West African countries. We use, let's say, the existing field trial data from 4 growing seasons for the Some cropping system. we employ two crop models, upseam and simplet Linton 5, which incorporate to, let's say, the nitrogen and residues modeling subroutine, which allow us to simulate the, let's say, different N inputs and also residue retention as the practical strategy in the field. First, we use two models, and then this two model was calibrated based on the UN biomass data, also the total nitrogen for the first year 2010. Then two models were, let's say, validated for the remaining year from 2010, 2011, 2013. Finally, these two, let's say, calibrated model were run over 64 simulation to investigate the yield change due to the change of different N applications and different residue retentions. So this slide showed you the results of the calibration validation based on the existing observed data and biomass and yield. So this is we use the, let's say, the field trial use, let's say, 60 kg per hectare and residue retention is 100%, and this is the actual practices in the farmer field. The graph showed you that the both model capture quite well the biomass and yields for the calibrated plot 2010. However, come to the validation, both model overestimate the UN biomass for 2011 and 2012 and slightly underestimates the UN biomass for 2013. The right graph showed you in terms of total nitrogen in the topsoil. So in terms of measure data, there is a large depletion of the total N after 4 growing seasons. The both model capture quite well the initial, let's say, the nitrogen, the total nitrogen in 2010. However, both of them overestimate in the last growing season in 2013. The next, we use the calibrated crop model, and then we run over different nitrogen scenarios and then crop residues scenarios. And this, let's say, graph show you the relative yield change compared to the scenario without nitrogen and without residues. And you can see that the relative yield change due to the chemical end input is larger than due to the residues. And our simulation showed that the relative yield change by upseam, let's say it's higher than around 10 to 20% than by Linton 5 crop model. Compared to the no nitrogen and no residue, if we add, let's say, 90 kg of chemical N input, this will lead to increase of 30 to 60% of the grain yield, which depend on the crop model. In the conclusion, from our the preliminary results, we can say adding chemical N input, let's say 90 kg per hectare, which can increase, let's say, 30 to 60% of the grain yield, depend on the crop model, compared to the no nitrogen and no residues. Taking the, let's say, actual nitrogen application and residue, let's say N60 or N100, adding or reducing 30 kg of chemical N do not have strong effects on the granules. For this, let's say our selected trial. We observed during our modeling activities and exchange with the colleague that there is a lot of uncertainty. You see the modeling performance. So we see a lot of uncertainty high because we cope with the lack of the observed data. And we will extend our work. Let's say there will be a more sensitivity analysis for different soil types, different, let's say, phosphate fertilizer level. Also, we will extend our work for different cropping system, for instance, maize and soybean rotation or intercropping in the context of West Africa. So thank you very much for your attention. So I'm very happy to get, let's say, your feedbacks, comment, or questions via the email. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tui. So next country, we are going to Ethiopia, and Tamu Aragav will present.
Hello, this is Uptown from Ethiopia. Thanks for giving me the chance to present my poster virtually. The title of my presentation is Effective Method of Acclimatization for In Vitro Propagated Hybrid Coffee Seedlings at Jimma, southeastern Ethiopia. As you know, coffee is the most popular beverage in the world, which is originated from Ethiopia. To improve the productivity of Arabica coffee, the Ethiopian Agricultural Research Institute have embarked coffee research back in 1980s. Since then, several varieties have been developed and released for production, with the mean yield range between 23 to 2600 kg per hectare. However, due to lack of the effective propagation technique, this hybrid variety have not successfully or sufficiently disseminated to growers, despite of the efforts made using conventional approach. Alternatively, tissue cultures offers maximum potential to multiply hybrid coffee, especially the somatic embryology approach is the most powerful approach or biotechnological approach to mass multiply woody plants, including coffees. So this technique needs to be optimized on our laboratory condition or in every laboratory condition. So Jimma Agricultural Research have successfully optimized somatic embryogenesis technique or protocols to multiply the F1 hybrid coffee varieties. So as you know, the success of any tissue culture crop depends on its ability to adapt to the natural environment. So this experiment was aimed to optimize an ex vitro or external or natural condition for seedling adaptation or acclimatization, especially searching for the optimum soil substrate or growing condition for coffee seedlings. We used locally available materials as well as soil substrates. We not apply industrial cocoa peat because these industrial products are very expensive. So we opt for find for locally or cheap alternative acclimatization soil substrates. So in this case, we apply topsoil, sand soil, and the mixture of these three combinations at a ratio of 100% and 100% as well as 67-33%. The experiment was set up using a randomized block design with 6 replications. Coming to the results section, these tables summarize the mean percent of the mean percent survival of hybrid coffee seedling under primary acclimatization using the different materials. In this case, we use plastic pots, bricks, as well as metal box. So as you can see, the sand gave significant difference among the treatment in terms of plant survival and overall seedling performance was observed. Sand gave the best result in all material being applied, such as under bricks, in metal box, in plastic box. While using only topsoil, it was less than 70% survival. In this case, there was higher seedling mortality was recorded. Finally, the mixture, or that is sand, top, as well as compost, had a survival range between 73 to 78.5, depending on the material applied for acclimatization. Greater survival was achieved with sand soils, and this might be attributed to larger pore space, which facilitated good root growth and the plant establishment. Contrary, a higher seedling mortality was observed on topsoil because the nature of topsoil, which retain higher moisture compared to the other soil combination. So when there is higher moisture, which favors fungus development, and this resulted for the dumping of seedling. If you look at the picture on this slide, on the top of this slide, and the figure indicate the performance of in vitro propagated coffee under greenhouse condition. Picture A shows coffee seedling growing using sand soils, both in plastic as well as metal box. In this case, the performance is quite good. However, coffee seedlings growing on using mixture of topsoil as well as sand and compost. Again, in picture C, seedling growing using topsoil showed poor performance. Picture D shows the primary acclimatization using bricks. So one of the advantages to plant on the bricks or in the bricks, these give maximum or larger number of seedlings, or to acclimatize the larger amount of seedlings. So in this case, again, because of the sand advantage, there was higher survival achieved. And the last picture, these coffee seedlings growing or transferred to single pot or poly bag. As you can see, the uniformly growing seedlings and its performance is also quite nice. As a conclusion, seedling handling at greenhouse is crucial to ensure the success of in vitro propagation and dissemination. Increased efficiency of hybrid coffee multiplication achieved over time by optimizing proper soil mixtures and its growing condition. Our target will be maximizing seedling survival, putting the annual loss just under 10%. Using sand soils gave maximum result to acclimatize the highly delicate or very tiny or small size coffee seedling, which was generated in vitro. In our case, we have achieved over 90% plant survival under primary acclimatization using sand soil medium. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to Tamu from Jimma, Ethiopia. Next country we will be going to Guadeloupe.
Good day, everyone. My name is Oluwatoyin Ayetigbo. I've been making a presentation on the poster titled Extensibility of Guadeloupe Collection of Alata Yam. Assertions reveal potential candidates for pounded yam production. I work with Santiago Arufe and others in the RTB breeding project. Stretchability is considered a key consumer preference textural quality in pounded yam in West Africa. However, good day everyone, my name's Oluwatoyin Ayitigbo. I've been making a presentation on the poster titled Extensibility of Guadeloupe Collection of Alata Yam. Assertions reveal potential candidates for pounded yam production. I work with Santiago Arufe and others in the RTB breeding project. Stretchability is considered a key consumer preference textural quality in pounded yam in West Africa. However, it's not an Antillean cuisine, but we can find one of the most diverse collection of Alata yams in the Antilles. Some Antillean Alata accessions can be identified as potential candidates suitable as parents for breeding yams for the purpose of producing pounded yam in West Africa. So to do this and to screen the yam accessions, we developed a standard procedure to assay extensibility of pounded yam from Guadeloupe using the Kifa-Do extensibility rig. 48 accessions of the Alata were received from Guadeloupe. Each of the accessions was steamed, pounded, and adjusted to dry matter of 30 by the addition of water. These were then produced strands of pounded yam, which can be tested on the Kifa-Do rig under standard conditions. And we obtained 3 key textural parameters. There's the extensogram peak force, which is the hardness, the extension area, which is the work done for extension, and the extensibility, which is the distance of extension. So, can I present it from here? Because I cannot see the slides.
Sorry. I probably have to, you already co-host, so.
Yeah. Should I present it from here?
We have to ask our technical moderator. Can we have the presentation online now, or? Hello, Arne, can you hear us?
Oh, sorry, I was muted, yes. I gave the presenter co-host to the meeting, so they should be able to share their screen now.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, please then go ahead and share your presentation.
Should I share it from here directly?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So thank you. My name's Oluwatoyin Ayitigbo. The title of this poster is The Extensibility of Guadeloupe Collection of Alata Yam Accessions Reveal Potential Candidates for Pounded Yam Production. I work with Santiago Arufe Villas in Sirat, France, as well as a number of our other partners in the RTB breeding project.
Sorry, can you please go in presentation mode? Yeah, perfect. No, yeah. Still not in presentation mode, yeah. Okay, this doesn't seem to work, but
so
just go.
Stretchability is considered a key consumer textural trait in pounded yam in West Africa. Although it's not an Antillean cuisine, but the Antilles have one of the most diverse collection of Dioscorea alata yams. So some of these alata accessions could be identified as potential candidates that can be suitable as parents for breeding for pounded yam in West Africa. So to do this, we developed the standard procedure to assay the extensibility of pounded yam from some Guadeloupe collections using the Kifa-Do extensibility rig.
Sorry, you please have to go to the next slide. We still see your first slide. At least I just see your first slide.
I'm on the third slide now. I
Okay.
don't know why it's
I think yeah, that's a problem. You see it in the presentation mode, but we see your presentation in the PowerPoint. So
maybe
now
I should continue on the PowerPoint.
yeah, maybe continue in the PowerPoint program. Now I can see your third slide as well, methodology here. Thank you.
Okay. So we obtained 48 DA Alata sessions from Guadeloupe, and we steamed, pounded, and adjusted the dry matter to 30% during pounding to produce pounded yam doughs, which were then made into thin strips. And these thin strips were tested for the extensibility on the Kifa dough rig using standard conditions for testing. Three textural parameters were obtained: the extensogram peak force representing the hardness, the extensibility represented by the distance to the fracture, as well as the area under curve representing the area, the work done to extend the pounded yam dough strand. The PCA showed us that about 99% of the data was explained by the variation was explained in the data, and classifying them into three groups showed us that each of the assertions had unique extensibility patterns. But we observed also a good correlation between the extension area, which is the work done to extend the pounded yam, as well as the dry matter of the fresh yam. Hierarchical classification also showed us that the assertions could be grouped into three classes: one with the ones with good extensibility, such as Tiviole and Belep, the ones with intermediate extensibility, and the ones with poor extensibility like Rosette, Florido, and Saint Vincent Blanc. We also found that the dry matter of the fresh yam was significantly associated with extension work done by of the pounded yam. So to conclude, we found that the extensibility parameters that we obtained were discriminant among the 48 assertions of the DLATA that we considered, and PCA and clustering analysis classified the assertions into good, intermediate, and poorly extensible pounded yam doughs. And we also see that the dry matter may be considered as a proxy parameter for screening yam assertions with good pounded yam extension work done. This project was funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and was carried out in CIRAD, in Guadeloupe, and Montpellier, France. Thank you very much for the presentation, and I hope to receive your questions.
Okay, thank you very much for this presentation. I think we should go straight to the next one. I think we will be going to Ethiopia again.
For the next one, we have not received the presentation. Is the presenter present? Did you see them?
Expert presenter should be Dejene Dibaba. Are you here? Okay, no, I don't think so. So then we might go to the next one, which should be Dennis Nyoki, with a presentation on Kenya, I think.
Good day, everyone. My name's Oluwatoyin Aitibo. I've been making a presentation.
Yeah, this should be the one, yeah. Yeah.
Hey everyone, my name is Dennis Moranga. I'll be presenting my poster on social perception of smallholder farmers on the uptake of organic fertilizer in Kibumba sub-county in Kenya. Over-reliance on chemical fertilizer has led to a decline in soil health and fertility, and this problem in Kenya has led to reduced crop yield, affecting smallholder farmers. Despite the huge potential of organic fertilizer in reversing this problem, there has been low adoption, majorly the commercial organic fertilizers. Hence, this study aimed at analyzing how social perception influences the uptake and identifying gaps on organic fertilizer uptake to leverage and improve on the uptake. So a survey was conducted to 100 respondents, and the results revealed that about 55% of the smallholder farmers used both local organic fertilizer and commercial organic fertilizer, and 100% of the respondents used local organic fertilizer. Also, the study revealed that there was a correlation between uptake and social perception, although on the organic fertilizer costs, they had a medium correlation together with the credit and political goodwill. On the organic fertilizer cost, the study revealed that the respondents argued that the farm level organic fertilizer are easily made, cheap and available, and also they are cheaper compared to synthetic fertilizers, and hence this greatly influenced the uptake. And on the credit and political goodwill, the results revealed that there was a low awareness of the policy and less involvement of the county on the subsidy of commercial organic fertilizer, and hence this did not greatly influence the uptake. On the impact of organic fertilizer on the environment, the results revealed that the smallholder farmers used organic fertilizer as it promoted good environment and promoted reduction of waste, and hence influenced the uptake. And on the crop produced with organic fertilizer, the results revealed that smallholder farmers viewed them as of high quality, safe, and fetch high prices at the market, and hence influencing the uptake. So in conclusion, promoting awareness of the political goodwill and organic fertilizer costs will greatly promote the uptake, and allocating more subsidy on commercial organic fertilizer will greatly promote the uptake. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Welcome.
Dear audience, my name is Albert Berjo, and in collaboration with my esteemed
we again have no video for this one, it's only audio. Is the presenter here?
Yes, please, I'm here.
Could you present it from your end right now?
Sure.
Hold on, I'll give you permissions to share your screen. All right, you should be able to.
Okay. Please. Okay. Yes, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Thank you. But I think we have some connection problems right now because I cannot hear you.
No, I think the audio is playing behind it. So, okay. All right. Hello. Can you hear me now, please?
And now I can hear you. Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Good day, everyone. My name is Albert Berjo, and together with my esteemed co-authors, I'll be presenting on the impact of fertilizer application on grain and vegetable crops in smallholder mixed crop livestock systems in West Africa. Our study was carried out in the Upper East region of Ghana and the Orbentinga province of Burkina Faso, which are all representative livestock farming areas in these countries. Together with their farmers, we took data on their grain and crop yields. And the reference period for this survey was the 2021 and 2022 cropping season for Ghana and the 2022 and 2023 cropping season for Burkina Faso. These farmers had their grain and vegetable yields summarized under fertilizer source, that is organic, those using chemical alone, and those using combined application. We also summarized their yields under fertilizer placement method. We also did the summarization under the application timing of fertilizer, and also we look at the crop type versus country-specific N rates for each crop. Our results indicate that fertilizer sources increase grain and vegetable crops of most crops in Burkina Faso, and also with the exception of peanut and soybean, all crops were increased by fertilizer sources in Ghana. We look at the N rate results. We also look at the N application rate corresponded with the grain yield, such that most of the crops either had significant higher yield under N application rate or showed a high tendency to increase yield under high N rate. In conclusion, we conclude that there were no substantial reduction in grain yields observed when combined and fertilizer application was used. Also, yield gains corresponded with the amount of N that was applied. However, there was a high variability characterizing yield responses to the blanket recommended timing of fertilizer applications. In all, our results may help guide recommended fertilizer management in MCL systems of these countries, and also similar ecologies in West Africa. Thank you, and we look forward to your questions.
Great, thank you very much. I think this was our last presentation, right? Arne, was this the last presentation?
Yes, that's the last one for today.
Okay, so I see we are 12 minutes above our time limit. Do we still have time to have some questions, or are you going straight into the next session?
The next session starts at 9:30, so I don't think we really have time.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much to all the presenters. Yeah, I would encourage you to, I don't know if you have registered on the Woover platform, but there it's quite easy. You will find our session, you will find each participant, and you can very easily contact each participant via the Woover app. So yeah, please, if you have any questions towards the presenters, please feel free to engage on the Woover app. Yeah, thanks again for your participation and presentation of your results.
So thank you very much again for the section. So have a nice day all. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Ciao.